They save lives in a fire, but what do you do with an old smoke detector when it stops working? Can you just throw it out?
Well, some detectors contain radioactive material. As the I-Team's Courtney Garish found out, the answer isn't clear-cut.
Yeah, this was honestly something I never really gave much thought about until a viewer reached out to call for action. He couldn't find anywhere to recycle his old smoke detectors.
One in each bedroom, one out here in the hallway.
John Lemke has 7 smoke detectors in his Milwaukee home. He just replaced 4 of them.
Replaced in 10 years.
He thought trading out expired smoke detectors would be easy. It was, until it came time to get rid of the old ones.
It's something that you don't normally throw in the trash, to me.
An avid recycler, John started to look into where he could drop off his smoke detectors.
I did most of the stuff online, and everything always said, no, we don't take this.
The MMSD hazardous waste collection site on Lincoln Avenue accepts a lot of household items.
The idea is to really clean this stuff out of the community so it doesn't go in the garbage trucks or down the drain.
But smoke detectors are on the do not bring list. Veolia runs this site. General Manager Joe Bauman says despite the list, some people show up with them.
If we would collect those, the expense to dispose of those properly would really take a bite out of the greater good that we're trying to do here.
One of the common types of smoke detectors used in homes are ionization detectors. They contain a small amount of radioactive material.
There are some value to it. Not a whole lot, certainly not worth the labor.
Jim Parise owns Parise Recycling Center in Kenosha. He makes exceptions for some items he doesn't normally handle, like electronics, so they don't end up in the landfill.
If it's got tossed here, we'll make sure it gets dealt with appropriately.
But he can't do that with smoke detectors.
I have no market for them. I have no place to bring them. And if there was a market for it, sure, we would consider it.
According to the DNR, the state has no policy on what to do with ionization smoke detectors, meaning there's no rule against just tossing them in the trash. If you do want to recycle, the only option is to send the smoke detectors back to the manufacturer at your expense.
But it seems dumb that we have to do all this rigmarole to get rid of these things.
And John's concerned most people won't give throwing these away a second thought.
The majority of people aren't going to go through that much trouble. They're going to take them off. They're going to be out in the trash.
The radiation in ionization smoke detectors is not a hazard if it's contained. Advice from the experts, never take it apart. Direct exposure to the radioactive material is very dangerous.
Okay, so here's the question. How do you know what kind of smoke detector you have?
You got to read the packaging. If it's an ionization smoke detector, meaning it does contain that radioactive material, it's required by law to have a warning label on the body of the smoke detector, and then it's also going to say ionization on the packaging.
She sounds like my mom. Read the instructions.
I never knew this, though. You've enlightened us. Thank you, Courtney.